Hello, I am Camille.
Oh, I'm Liz. I didn't get myself unmuted in time.
That's okay. That's a-okay. And this is, in conclusion, we have no idea. See,
Where we didn't have any idea that we just wouldn't be talking or doing anything like this for like a year.
yeah, life happened. And when I say life happened, I mean my neighbors happened and said,
Well, and life happened because school.
yeah,
Yay. But it's
yay,
okay because we're here now.
we're here. And I, I got married, so it's
And
been a,
Camille has better audio quality. So, two things improved in her life. Can't say the same for mine, but it's fine. It's it's not fine.
we're fine.
No, I mean, you are more than I am.
I also got more depressed, so like, I,
Are we assuming that I didn't?
no, we know you got more depressed.
At least we know that. That was a guarantee. You at least had hope
Yeah,
and
and
a
then
marriage.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just as disappointed as everyone else. I think I'm choosing to just blame anti-vaxxers for all my
For pretty much
problems.
everything, honestly.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything that goes wrong in my life is probably an anti-vaxxer's fault in some way, shape, or form. And I just choose to make it everything.
yeah. Like you do, like you do.
But you know what else improved, Camille? We finally got Caitlin back. So now
Woo!
one more person has to deal with our shit all the time.
Woo!
Because I know you're not the only one who texts Caitlin everything that minorly inconveniences you ever. Because you texted me that shit for a year and a half. And so the frequency of that happening once she got back fell down a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's just an apology in advance, Caitlin. And also prior, just a general I'm sorry for just all of it.
In conclusion, we're sorry.
Yeah, for all of it. I don't really know specifically what to apologize for, but I know that there's probably stuff in there or around there. I don't know what you've said to her, but I've
Oh,
threatened somebody's life. Not hers, but somebody's.
yeah, yeah. I I have I made a New Year's resolution to not kill a man, and almost immediately that resolution was tested. And it just keeps getting tested. And my mom laughed at me for that resolution, but gosh dang, it's been a shockingly difficult one to keep, and
You
she
know,
has to hear about it.
I feel like resolutions are stuff that you struggled with in the past and now you're trying to overcome them by stopping whatever it is you were doing before, which means that you're implying that you've killed a man before, which concerns me because I feel like out of the two of us, I would have been the one to kill a man first.
Yeah, no, I've not killed a man. I've just thought about it a lot. Just watch. This podcast is gonna get subpoenaed now. Someone we know is gonna get murdered, and they're gonna subpoena our podcast and be like, "You guys talked about killing a man. Did you kill a man?" And we're gonna have to be like, "No, not
No,
that one.
I can tolerate that one
That one was okay."
for the most part. Dear government, I have not, nor will I, probably not kill a man.
Amen.
Probably. Thank you. Woo. So, Camille,
Yeah.
speaking of Caitlin and not killing men. Um, I think we decided that the podcast today, because we debated on this for like God knows how long, on what the fuck we were going to talk about. And then I was reading Camille some emails that I sent to Caitlin while she was on her mission, because honestly, a gold mine of just situations or just, I don't want to say quotes, because honestly, some of them are like paragraphs long, but like,
A quote can be a paragraph.
yeah, okay. So a gold mine of quotes from these emails that I sent to Caitlin over the course of I stopped sending her emails after a while and I just started doing voice memos. But like I got like the actual emails, like the physical ones that I actually wrote out. And I'm gonna read Camille some of these quotes because some of them I feel like are just relatable and nothing's changed. Or they're just sad because they're true, or just both. So we're gonna take that journey today. And again, Caitlin, I'm sorry because you already had to read these, but now you get to hear them again.
Woo!
Yay! So I just have a bunch of pictures of like quotes that I sent to Caitlin, and you can see that there's a lot of them.
Well, I can
Oh,
see that there's a lot of them. No one else can see that there's a lot of them.
yeah. Anyways, so I'm going to read these to Camille and hopefully she appreciates them and everybody else does because I'm going to have to remember what the context of these situations were and I probably won't. So we're going to see how this goes. So first to start out with, we go with anyways. My last 2 weeks has ranged from just fine to crisis mode, as my therapist puts it. I'd call it more like the most disastrous thing that could possibly happen did in fact happen.
Yeah, you're right. That's real hard to hear with no context. Um, um, I gotta know, based on our conversations, because we discussed earlier that our conversations are mostly just us going on long rants about like a minor inconvenience and the other person saying, "You're right, that sucks so much. That's the worst thing in the whole world." So I want to know if the most disastrous thing that could happen was actually the most disastrous thing that could happen, or like,
Absolutely not. 0%.
great, good.
I was probably, I don't even know what I was talking about here. I guarantee I was probably just talking about some dumb fucking math test that I had to take that I definitely, woe is me, failed, but didn't because I'm just an over dramatic motherfucker who doesn't like understand that like sometimes things that are sad aren't the worst things in the world. They just make you feel bad. And so you just think that everything is terrible.
You know, that is a whole mood, honestly. I, you know this. You know this. I like, you know this. Okay, two different siblings are trying to call me. I don't know what to do. I. Do you just want to talk into the void for a minute while I deal with
Absolutely.
this?
So I can probably actually go figure out what this was about.
What?
So we're going to go on a
Hi.
journey as to what this whole
What's going on?
deal is about. Um, honestly, like my favorite thing to do when I read these emails is really just figure out what in particular it is that I'm talking about because I, like I've mentioned, and I'm an over dramatic motherfucker, which means I just kind of over do it all the time. So honestly, the most dramatic thing that could possibly happen that did in fact happen was definitely just some math test or something that I was being super dramatic about. So I'm looking right now to see if I can find an email to give some context here because
you guys called me
honestly,
just to tell me that?
I feel like I need to.
Okay.
figure this out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't figure it out, which is also another very disastrous thing that's happened in my life. So we're just gonna go along and just. I'm watching Camille right now talk to her sibling or whoever, and I don't know if she can hear me right now, but she's definitely just like glancing over in my direction very passive aggressively as if I'm saying stuff that's pissing. No, I think she's actually talking to her sibling. I'm just gonna give a
Did
play
you
by
all
play
go to the musical
of what's
or
going
just you
on
two?
right now. She has a Christmas tree
Okay,
up. Guys, it's not even the end of November. She has who? Why would you have a Christmas tree up, Camille? She can't hear me. Actually, I don't know if she can hear me. She has a Christmas tree up. What hello?
Yeah, okay.
What?
Can I respectfully
Well, and
thank
there's
you for
also
this
a
information and
picture,
tell you that I'm currently
and
recording a
Camille's definitely
podcast
saying
with
something
Liz,
that
and I
she's
just muted
like
myself.
laughing
She's
about.
just talking
And
to the
now
voice.
she's looking over at me again, and she just looked away as
You're
if I've
totally
said
fine.
something
You're
else
totally,
that's like kind of offended her. Also,
I love to hear it.
she has a wine glass. It's not filled with wine. It's filled with fucking
at
Sprite
first I was totally
cranberry.
fine
And
just
when I
letting
made
it
a
pass,
comment
but
earlier
then
about the
Brianna
fact that it was
called
a
too, and I
Sprite
thought someone had
cranberry,
died. So
she was like, "Do you want me to send you some?" And
I
I
figured I
said,
should get that.
"Camille,
Anyways,
how would
I
you
love
send me
both.
some? Because
If
I
you would
live
like
3 hours
to call me at
away."
a
And
later
she was like,
date,
"I'll just
please feel free to
DoorDash
do
you."
so.
And I was like,
I'm not doing that.
honestly, the
So
sad fact is the funny part of that whole
love you.
conversation was Camille saying that she would
Bye.
DoorDash me Sprite cranberry because who the fuck thinks about DoorDashing Sprite cranberry when they're having a regular conversation? I just said, Camille, why would you think about sending me Sprite cranberry when you're just trying to
I just got back. I just put my earbuds back in and I just hear Sprite. Are you telling them about our conversation?
Absolutely.
Good. Good. Excellent.
Camille was gonna send me Sprite cranberry and DoorDash it to me. And I was just telling them about how ridiculous that was.
Did you mention that I have Sprite cranberry in a wine glass?
Yep.
Good.
That was what I led that with, by the way.
Good. Good.
You're gonna listen back on this and you're gonna be like, Liz, what the fuck were you talking about? You didn't form a single coherent sentence.
You know what? That's okay. My sisters, both of them called me in rapid succession, so I automatically assume, someone's probably died. No, they called me to tell me about the high school production of Mamma Mia.
Oh. And how was it?
Apparently not. Apparently, there was one kid who was really into the dancing and like all over the place. Like he was there for a good time, not a long time. And apparently, while they were dancing in the aisles, one of the guys dancing in the aisles, like double fisted it into his pockets, pulled out a handful of mints, and handed them to this lady in the audience. So, anyways,
What?
that's how the drama department's doing without us.
Minty fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really want to know how either that was not planned. He was specifically told not to do that and then decided to do it anyway, a la wooden clothespins in Music Man. Or he was told to do that, and that just means that the theater directors there have just gotten more unhinged in the past 3 years. So
that doesn't surprise me, honestly.
Yeah, fair.
Do you want to read the next email?
Yes, please.
Back to like the actual topic that we, I guess, have.
Yeah.
Our next email comes from why? Because it just says, but who knows, because I've lived off of almost exclusively Spite and Ritz Cracker snack packs for the last 6 weeks, so take that for what you will.
Yeah, me too.
That's not a college vibe. I don't know what is.
I am currently living off of Spite almost exclusively. And there was a period of time in my life where everything I ate just made me sick. except for Ritz crackers. So I relate to that.
I think I just said it because that's pretty much all I ate for a hot minute there. Not because anything made me sick or whatever, but just because I don't have fucking time to eat. And also, I take Adderall. So I don't get hungry during the
I
day.
the worst part of adulthood, I think, is having to like cook. And I spent an hour doing dishes tonight. And
Ugh.
with the knowledge that I will have to spend an hour doing dishes again at a later date. Normally it goes, so here's the thing. I'm going on a tangent here, but
That's
um,
fair.
me and my husband, we hand wash our dishes for some reason. We have a dishwasher, but we hand wash our dishes. And normally, when there's two of us, we do them together. One of us will wash, the other one will dry, and it's very cute and cottagecore, and it goes like clockwork. When
Sorry.
one of us is not here, it just piles up. Well, it doesn't just pile up. It piles up because we're lazy and we usually go a couple days without doing the dishes. And and if one of us isn't here, the other one just has to bear the burden of that. And tonight that was me, and that's a okay because I know he's had to bear the burden of it as well. It also may be worth it to mention that because the housing market sucks, we do live with housemates, another married couple, and I feel like that's part of the reason we don't use the dishwasher is because we're both terribly terrified of inconveniencing anyone. Anyways, that was my dishes tangent. And adulthood is just having to feed yourself and do dishes, and it's terrible. And I understand why you just ate Ritz snack packs.
Yeah, I kind of still live like that. Like the only thing that's keeping me alive right now are like those pumpkin muffins from Costco.
Nice.
Other than that, it's pretty much the exact same thing of living off of spite and fucking Ritz cracker snack packs for
Yeah.
6 weeks. So absolutely nothing's changed in the last 2 years between when I sent that email and then when I just read it to you right now because it's just changed food. It hasn't changed overall situation.
Yeah. To be fair, the Costco muffins slap. I
They
need to.
fucking slap so
They're
hard, dude.
like I don't know what they do to those muffins. They do something. They're so good.
I'm fucking cracking them.
Yeah, probably. That's okay. I respect that.
Will I read our next one?
Yes.
Okay. This one says, I'm going to preface this by already apologizing for what will probably happen in this email. It's currently 3:15 in the morning, and I'm definitely low-key tripping on my medication that makes me feel like the world's moving in slow motion. You might ask, but Liz, why don't you go to bed? And to that I say, I certainly could go to bed, but my mind doesn't want to. And alas, I wanted to tell you about my week. And if I don't do that now, I'll forget. And I hate forgetting things, so you get me emailing you at my most primal, at my most vulnerable would probably be a better explanation. Though primal is also a good description for how I'm feeling right now.
That could be the first chapter of a novel. Like a really weird coming of age novel.
That's just how I am, dude. Like, I don't even know. Okay, no, what it was is I had just started this new medication and I was working out dosage levels, and we had put me on a really high dose that I shouldn't have been on because the second that I took it, it's like one of those kind of medications that like makes you sleepy, but not like sleepy enough that you're gonna go to sleep, but just like that like verge of like I'm really, really tired and it's like I haven't slept in 6 days, but I can't fall asleep right now. So I'm just gonna sit here and stare at a wall and think about how what would happen if the walls just started moving in closer. And then you kind of catch your mind imagining and actually seeing the walls move closer. So you're just kind of sitting there in a state of anxiety, but you can't feel anxious because you're too tired to feel anxious. So now you're just like, okay, I guess that's happening right now.
So what I'm hearing is the medication worked too well.
Yeah. And so I went on a lower dose and things got better.
That's good. That's good. Moral of the story, get the right medication dosage, kids.
Or you're going to be emailing your best friend who's over in England at 3:15 in the morning, just really laying it all out there.
Yeah.
Brutally upfront from the beginning.
Yep.
So that's fun, but also the next email started with, "How's life treating you, girl? I've been running around the last week or two, and I feel like 2020 has straight up gut punched me after 2019 tried to kill me. Either this year," and this is the best part, "either this year is going to be even worse than 2019, or it's trying to get all of its anger out on me right now, which is fine. I've reached a point in my life where if something terribly wrong happens to me, it barely phases me anymore. You're almost to 6 months gone, and it feels like you've been gone forever. I feel like you haven't seen you in 16 years. Maybe I'm being over dramatic, but who would I be without over exaggerating my plights and woes?"
And then, fun fact, that was the last time the world felt normal.
Okay, so Caitlin had just sent me an email like the week before saying how she really felt like 2020, and I say like verbatim, she felt like 2020 was going to be our year. I'm sorry, what? I feel lied to? Not really, Caitlin, it's fine. But I feel like I was bamboozled. I want my money back. I want to speak to 2020's manager. Because what the fuck was that about?
And then it just 2021 came around, and I don't want to say it's, I don't know if it's been worse or if it's been better, but I don't know. We had full-blown treason like 3 days in, so I don't know.
Tying that in with like 2020 shit.
Yeah, fair.
Because to be honest, mid March of 2020 hit, and it still feels like I'm stuck in March of 2020.
Yeah.
Like, I went on spring break for college and then just didn't go back for a whole year.
Yeah.
Like, we were on our spring break when they canceled everything. And then it was even better because when we went to go back, like to online school, so they had canceled that Monday because they were trying to get all the professors to move everything online. That Tuesday, Utah had a fucking earthquake, so classes got canceled again. So I didn't even go back until that Wednesday, and that was just the beginning of 2020 being a shit year. But honestly, the fact that I predicted that within the first 2 weeks, which to be honest, like, let's be fair, we started off 2020 almost going to World War III.
Ah, frick, I forgot about that.
So did everybody else.
It just, the world has honestly not felt normal since like 2018, and I just,
No, it's been 2016, man. The second that orange angry man got elected, nothing's felt real. Harambe died in 2016, and that just fucked everything over.
that was it. That was the butterfly effect. That was our Nexus event.
Yeah, the butterfly effect from Harambe dying is what led us to a pandemic in 2020 that's still a problem in 2021.
Even though it really doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be, and yet here we are. Yeah. Anyways, we could go on, and I think we've already gone on and on about 2020. So like,
I can read the next email.
yeah, we should probably get on. If you guys want to hear about how we felt about 2020, just go find the podcast episode. It's around.
Those were recorded in the middle of 2020, so
yeah.
Anyways, so this next one is about UTA, which is the theater conference that happens every year. It says, UTA was at the U this year. I had a lovely time of trying my best to avoid 16 middle schoolers trample me into the snow because those demon spawn never watch where they're going. Wasn't super easy because I had to walk like a penguin everywhere because all the sidewalks up here are iced over. Where's my tuition going? Not to clearing sidewalks, I guess. You think if I slip and fall on an uncleared sidewalk, I could sue for my tuition back? So I
Maybe.
think the answer to that should be yes.
Oh, oh, same. I feel that. Like, it will snow here, and the university will send out an email that's like, we're all very concerned about the snow. Smiley face. So we have cleared all the sidewalks for you. Smiley face. Everything's fine. Smiley. They did not clear the like they cleared the snow off the sidewalks. They did not salt them. We were all slipping. And I was like, I'm so glad this is what I'm paying thousands of dollars for, to fall on my tushy on the cold ice while a bunch of frat boys watch.
Honestly, it's worse at the U, I'd say, because the U is built on a fucking mountain.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's all on a hill. The second you fall is the second you keep going.
Well, on the one hand, if your class is at the bottom of that hill,
They rarely are. You know how often I have to walk uphill to get to my fucking classes? You think to yourself, oh, Liz, you're going to have to walk downhill eventually. No, I never do. It always feels like I'm walking uphill, and it makes me sad. I hate it.
that sounds like it could be a metaphor, but it's not. It's very literal. This hill does not represent anything. This hill is
Yeah,
just my life.
it's literally what it is. It's all on a hill. There is no like even when you think you're going downhill, you still somehow manage to go uphill on that path of going downhill. Like you're just no one can see what I'm doing with my hand right now, but I'm doing like the wave. Ow! Oh, I just popped my shoulder. Anyways, that hurt.
Yeah, and I it probably also doesn't help that the U is like way bigger than my university. Like you can cross my campus in like 15 minutes.
You know how long it takes for me to walk from one end of campus to the other?
How long?
If I'm speed walking, like 25 minutes. Speed walking. If I'm like walking like a normal person pace, you're looking at least like a half hour.
Oh dang. Yeah. Yeah.
It's big and it's on a fucking hill and I hate it. And then I also ride the train every day to get there. So if I have a 9 a.m. class, you'll never guess what time I have to get up. Hint, it's before 7.
Yeah, I don't want to do that math. That that math is just
That's
sad.
two hours, Camille.
Yeah.
So, you know, everything lives to disappoint me.
Maybe the U will listen to this podcast and start. They won't. They won't.
No.
They won't.
They didn't listen to the $37 million lawsuit they got to put in better lights on campus. They're not going to listen to the podcast. I can say that because I'm in my last year and I only got like a few months left of this fucking place before I'm outie.
Oh. Oh yeah. I'm like looking at my calendar because I graduate in a few weeks. I'm looking at it and I'm going, any day now. Any day now. Any day now, and I can say whatever I want about this place. I technically already can.
You need to graduate, like total amount of credits you need to graduate from your college.
I think like 120-ish, something like that. 130.
I was gonna say it's 122, and I'll be like 13 credits short after the end of next semester, so I have to go into fall of next year. Yeah, but it's fine. It means I get to keep my job where I'm working, and I like that job. So
yeah, I am getting the boot from my job, which is stressful. But that job is also only paying me $8.25 an hour. So, and it's not an easy job. I have to tell students how to handle their finances, which either goes really, really well or really, really terribly. It usually results in tears or just straight up entitlement that's like, well, I feel like I should not have to pay to go to school because I'm daddy's special boy. And I'm like,
Go get daddy to pay for it then.
yep, yep. Well, daddy won't pay for it. Well, then you're not really daddy's special boy. Here's how you take out a
I
loan.
want to be a real boy.
So yeah,
Sorry.
I I do like that job though, but I it yeah, I am getting booted from it. So that's fun. That's fun. It's almost worse to know when you're not to know exactly when you're not going to have a job anymore than to just one day be like I quit or get fired cuz
Oh
you're like
yeah.
looking at it and going every day it's a getting closer.
Yep. That's how I'm going to be when I finally get out of this job because I only have 6 weeks until after I graduate to stay at the job. So that's going to be super fun. Shall I move on?
Yes, you shall.
I like
That
how
is,
these spark like 20-minute conversations about just like the dumbest shit.
you
I
know
really
what?
think,
That's
I
what we
think
wanted to happen.
that's the best sign of a good email is when you can sit there and be like, yeah, okay, I guess that's it's a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
So this one is probably a really good conversation starter because it goes, my love life is forever and will continue to be disappointing at best. I'm still single and Tinder is delightfully dissatisfying. All around a lovely time for me in my relationship status. If you see any cuties over there, don't tell me because I've exhausted all possibilities over here and it'll just make me sad, probably. I know who I am, and who I am is an eternal disappointment for the continuation of my family bloodline. And frankly, it just really be like that sometimes.
You know, that is so well worded. Like from an English major perspective, that is so beautifully worded. Like it's eloquent. You talk about bloodlines. It's good.
Can I just say, watching your face journey as I read that to you, perfect.
Good. Good.
You just listen. My fucking love life is still disappointing. Absolutely nothing has changed. I stay who I am, and who I am is just a fucking homo here to end a bloodline.
And
So
what a calling. What a calling.
take that, Mormon pioneers who came over here 150 years ago on the promise that their children and their children's children would be faithful members of the church. How's that feel?
The Liz's pioneer ancestors crossed the plains. 200 years later, Liz, a lesbian. It do be like that. It do be like that.
Sorry, maybe it wouldn't have been a problem if you hadn't have just, willy-nilly walked the plains. Okay? This wouldn't have been an issue if you hadn't done that in the first place. So honestly, if we can blame anybody in this situation, it's not me.
We gotta blame the people who made them walk the plains. The people who couldn't, like, chill out for 5 seconds.
I'm just saying, if they hadn't given me the genetic material to make a lesbian, it is what it is, and what it is a fucking homo. And honestly, at this point in my life, I'm just kind of like vibing through life with that point. But like, I'm sorry, ancestors. I live to disappoint, which includes living to disappoint dead people.
You know, I live by the motto that if one of my ancestors or descendants has not come to stop me, I think I'm okay. Like, if one of my descendants has not come to be like, Grandma, I'm begging you not to do this, then I think we're good.
Here's the problem with that, though. with me being gay, I'm not gonna have descendants to come back and stop me.
Do you want my descendants to come back and stop you? They
Yes,
can.
if you're, yeah, I would really actually appreciate that. Like, if your descendants could come back and stop me, that would be great.
I'll let them know. I'll let them know. I'll say, okay, kids,
Write it down.
go back. I'll write it down now. Um,
Okay. Go stop Liz if you can.
I leave a message. They're going through my. They're like looking through the attic like kids do. They see a message that says "Go stop Liz." They're like, yeah, okay, fair
Which
enough.
Liz? Figure it out.
They'll they'll
Any of them.
they'll just all the Liz's go on a mission to stop every single Liz that has ever lived. Good
They
luck,
all
kids.
deserve it. I want to be honest. All Liz's kind of need to be stopped.
They show up in Queen Elizabeth II's office and they're just like, we've come to
That
stop you.
woman. That woman needs to be stopped. She's fucking old.
I need her to outlive Charles though. That's the thing.
Honestly, you and my mom have the exact same opinion on that. You, my mom, and pretty much half the world has that same opinion.
I there is no stronger unity between people, I think, than how much people just absolutely hate Charles and Camilla.
And
And
for
I
good
for
reason.
good
I mean,
reason.
Princess Diana was right there, and he has to go. Here's the thing, I don't care about drama, especially royal drama. Not a huge fan of it. That being said, I recognize when you have like a bombshell of a woman and you still fucking choose Camilla.
And
I'm sorry, what?
and
You're
it's like,
wrong, first of all.
first of all, Diana was good looking. Second of all, she was like cool. She was like a cool person.
Lady Diana was a cool person, but also was hot. And
Yeah.
I think Charles needs to, I was going to say something, something, something death penalty, but I also don't want to have the,
We don't want our podcast to get subpoenaed.
because here's the thing, the US and the UK are really good allies, and I don't want the Navy SEALs crashing through my door because I said that Charles needs to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cross the Rainbow Bridge.
Say hello to God for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, the other thing, like, I know you don't like royal drama, but then the exact same nonsense that happened to Diana started happening to Meghan Markle, and he just sat there and made it worse. And it's like, seriously, your wife died over this, and you're just letting it happen. You're letting it happen again. And then he
But
said
here's the
racist.
thing, we stand Harry because he said not to my wife.
He was he did the Prince of England equivalent of punching some guy in a bar and saying, "That's my wife," and then proceeded to pick up his wife and baby and take them to Los Angeles, which honestly to me doesn't feel like an improvement, but you also don't have a bunch of judgy royal people breathing down your back there. So, like, you do what you gotta do.
And I stand that. But at least he said not my wife, and he fucked off. Not like in the bad way, but in like the as you do, sir, go about your day.
Yeah. And you know what? They're living their best life. They're like,
I love that for them.
yeah. And the rest of the royals are just sitting there being grumpy in England, which
Except for Queen Liz, I really feel like she's just kind of like here for a good time, not a long time.
Queen Liz, I yeah. I did an unreasonable amount of like digging on Princess Diana's relationships with everyone because of the crown, and the crown is obviously a little bit dramatized, but it sounds like Diana had like a pretty chill relationship with the queen and Prince Philip, but then everyone else it was like, we hate this woman.
It's fucking Charles.
It's like, why'd you marry her? Why, she can do so much better than you. Why'd you marry her? And I know it's because the royal family was like, no, you need to marry you need to marry someone who, and I guess that's why they now no longer say no, you don't need to marry a royal person. But then Harry
They're
was
all
like,
cousins anyways.
yeah. And then Harry was like, that's cool. I'm going to marry this mixed race actress from America. And they were like, no, you still need to marry a really rich white British person. And he was like, okay. And then he went to America with his hot wife. And you know what? Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and before we go to the next email, I'm just going to say this. I don't know why we make fun of people from Alabama that much for being cousin fuckers because, like, sure, maybe that's a valid stereotype. But that being said, why don't we fucking make fun of literally every royal person from Europe? They're all cousin fuckers over there. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Let you have that thought. I don't know. You looked at me so disappointed, and now I feel like I've said something.
No.
Anyway, so I'm gonna read this email. It starts by saying, I want. Oh wait, no, this isn't any better. I wanted to curl up into a ball and cry, and I did cry a lot, just while coding at the same time. I got tears on my cupcakes that I ate to make myself feel less miserable. Have you ever had a cupcake salted by your own tears? I don't recommend it, frankly. It's both not very tasty and also really, really depressing.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
No, it's funny. That's why I posted it. That's why I'm saying it. Because it's funny. Now, I'm
Just Great British Bake Off. It's Tears Week. Incorporate tears into your bake somehow.
Figure it out. Cry a lot. I don't recommend it. I viscerally remember those cupcakes. 0 out of 10. They were good until you hit like, because they're not like, you know how sea salt and caramel is like a good kind of flavor combination. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. No. These were like store-bought cupcakes salted by my own tears because I was crying a lot because I had to code and I hate coding. So yeah, I really don't have any more else to say about that because that really just is, you know, the situation really explains itself, honestly.
Yeah, you don't need context. The context is right there.
You just not really much to say about either because it's just like, do I touch that at all, or is that something you need to work out in therapy? And if you're, you know, thinking about that, then I've already talked about it in therapy. It's just, yeah. Anyways, I really, hold on, I don't want to read this one because it's just same kind of homework.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh great, this is really good lead, Liz. Why do we always start sentences and emails like this? I'm going to rip my eyelids off. I'm so bored. The only solace I take is the possible entertainment you may derive from my over-dramatized boredom and pain, because it is not just this that is causing me strife currently. And then I go off and I like rant about some shit that I don't even know because I didn't screenshot that part.
Again, first paragraph of like a novel or opening line of a movie. I don't know. That's just the energy it's got.
Oh my god. Sorry, I just looked at the next one.
Oh wow, that is very long.
And it's very long, all caps.
Yep. That looks like a majority of the texts Liz receives from me. So,
and she receives from me, so it's fine. And this is actually, I guess, in tangent with the last one that I just read you, because it says between this paragraph and the last paragraph is about 20 minutes of time I spend working on homework. You know what sucks? having to write out the process of making change for a certain amount of money because it's discrete math. So I have to write out the process instead of just being able to say that 99 cents is made up of 3/4, 2 dimes, and 4 pennies. I have to literally write out the process of going through each and finding out how many of each I need. I did not sign up for a class to be a cashier. This is supposed to be teaching fundamental math and not how to make how best to make change for exactly 47 cents. It doesn't make, and excuse my pun here, sense.
But
But and then third paragraph in tandem with the other two. Okay, so now it's been another 20 minutes since the last paragraph, and I've calmed down significantly. Isn't it fun to just get a dose of me as I am at my most feral? Love that. I delete it, but honestly, I think you'll probably laugh at it, so I'm really just doing it for you. But alas, homework has been the all consuming thing in my life for the past few days, so other than homework, I really don't have much to inform you about. It's a lot.
yeah, you know, homework just be like that. I think between my emails and your emails, she got full blown entertainment. Like, because I just sent her voice recordings, and the voice recordings basically boiled down to my boyfriend is so hot, I love him so much, and I'm gonna marry him. Also, here's what happened in our D&D session this week. And she and her companion literally emailed me to tell me that my weekly D&D recaps were their version of Netflix. And I'm just like, great. So I think between my D&D nonsense and your emotional breakdowns, she was thoroughly entertained.
I sure hope so. Cause she also emailed me or sent me a voice memo one week after all of my rantings and ravings because I eventually started sending her voice memos too because my emails got to be really, really long. It would take me forever to write for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
very clear reasons as to why. And she was like, yeah, so my companion, I was telling her about like our squad, and our squad is just a bunch of queers, just a bunch of queers, like for
And
reference.
and
And
Caitlin.
apparently, and then Caitlin. So really, you get your token straight, and then all your queers
Mm-hmm.
or people who look like queers because Sophia's there. But like under Giannis, eh, you
Yeah.
know, it's a little sus. But she sent me this voice memo and she goes, yeah, so we were at the grocery store this week and we met this cashier who was very clearly gay. And um, her companion basically like started referring to him as like one of like, because our squad was the Renenes. And so her companion asked her if the cashier was a Renee, which basically just meant, is he queer? And I was like, that's fine. And also, a second time, Caitlin told me about this later, how they used to listen, like, she had a companion that would always be like, you can't wear headphones while you listen to these voice memos. Like, you can't listen to headphones, or like, you can't put on headphones or whatever. And Caitlin was like, this is from my friend Liz. Are you sure? And her companion was adamant about, like, you have to wear headphones, or you can't wear headphones. Like, you're not allowed to wear headphones. And so Caitlin turned on the voice recording. First three words were something on the lines of like, this fucking shitty thing like just happened to me this week and this is the fucking worst. And her companion looks at her and just goes, so you can wear headphones. And I was like, I'm really here to be a real one.
Yep. I appreciate that because I think there were multiple emails where I was like, Caitlin, I know your companions don't know me in real life and they don't know about my life situation, but there's a lot of stuff going down that is very personal and private, and I need to talk to someone about it, and I've already talked to Liz about it a lot. So I need you to put your headphones in. And yeah, so I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm the reason that Caitlin could wear headphones.
Nice.
Caitlin really just had to deal with a lot trying to look through these emails. Oh, yeah. So remember how I mentioned that there was an earthquake? Literally one of like the things in my emails. Oh, and I guess there was an earthquake today. That's all I mentioned about it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I mentioned it a little later, and it was Utah really had us doing 6 earthquake drills a year, and all I did was lay there and wait for the roof to crush me.
See, that's pretty much what I did. I kind of felt everything shaking, but assumed I was dreaming. So I kind of just like looked up and looked around and was like, are things falling over? Am I gonna die? No. And then I went back to sleep. I mean, I did not go back to sleep. I laid in the bed and finally I grabbed my phone and texted my boyfriend because he was like 3 rooms over because he was visiting us at the time. I said, "Hey, honey, did you feel that? Yeah? Cool, I'm not crazy." And that was it. That was my earthquake experience.
I would have gone back to bed had I not had my dog running into my room in a panic.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to ignore a 110-pound golden retriever.
Yeah, fair.
So that was really super fun. That was a good day. And then I had school canceled again.
Yeah.
So the fucking earthquake really just set things off for the quarantine vibes
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then I send Caitlin this email 2 months later. And I said, it's almost May and it feels like April never actually existed. Like I went on spring break for school in March and just didn't go back. March never ended for me. We're almost to 3rd March now. Reality is crumbling before our eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna be honest. Every month since that March has just felt like March. It's just
We're
we're
on
on.
like 14th March. Or no, it's way more Marches than that. April,
It's
May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. We're in 20th March.
20th March. Look at
Yeah.
us. That's really a sobering number to hear. Nothing. I was not prepared for how hard that was going to hit me. But here we are.
20th March.
Indeed.
Do you want another email to bring up the mood?
Yeah, please.
Sometimes I forget that I'm in the International Thespian Society until they send me emails, and I remember that I did acting in high school. The only acting I do now is acting a fool.
You know what? That should be the slogan for the International Thespian Society.
The only acting I do now is acting a fool.
I This is going to sound funny. I genuinely forgot theater existed outside of high school. I was reading a short story in one of my classes the other day because we all had to write short stories, and I wrote one of my D&D backstories, by the way, and everyone is worried if I'm okay, and the answer is no, absolutely
No,
not.
you're not.
Just read the story and give me feedback. Um,
I know you're
and
not.
one of the stories that we read was about this woman whose girlfriend got in an accident on the stage that made her into like a transatlantic actress because of a concussion.
A
And
transatlantic actress?
yeah, something like that.
Transatlantic actress.
Yeah, like with a transatlantic accent. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Did you think I was saying a
No, I thought for some
transatlantic?
reason you meant like paraplegic or something.
No, no, she hit her head and thought she was like a famous actress from the 30s. Anyways, I've gotten off
What are you
topic.
talking about?
And anyways, this woman, I genuinely for half of the story thought they were in high school until one of them started drinking wine. Like the normal one started drinking wine. I was like, "Oh my gosh, these are adults." I
Adults.
genuinely forgot that people who are not in high school do theater, and it threw me for a loop.
Yeah, the only thing that's like reminding me that other people do theater is the fact that I'm taking an acting class for non-majors right now, which means I have to go into the theater building sometimes, and there's like actual theater majors there, and I'm like, oh, people are like actually majoring in this.
Yeah,
Which not like laughing at that, like in like a like, oh, that's like I'm way better than them because I'm getting a math degree. Because honestly, which degree is making us more depressed? I can tell you it's not the fucking theater degree.
yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, it depends. How mean are the other theater majors? Because the theater
I don't
majors
know.
here are super mean, and by the time the theater students graduate, like the incoming class of theater students is like 100 people or something a year. I don't know. And then by the time they're seniors and graduating, there's like 20 of them. So
That's
you
how theater
you
is.
you either get bullied out of the program by the other theater majors, or you just give up. And that that's art, baby.
Honestly, here's the thing. When I started school, I was a physics major, right?
Right.
Take like a wild gander at how many physics majors total there were. And let me preface this at a major research institution with 30,000 students.
Um I'm gonna guess 2,000,
No.
500,
Lower.
lower. 200,
Think lower.
150.
You're keep going. You got it. Keep going.
125.
Camille, there were 60 of them.
Oh boy.
And take second guess. How many of them are women?
3.
Higher. I'll give you that.
7.
A little higher.
15.
A little lower.
13.
There was 10.
Oh dang.
And then when I switched to being a math major, there became 9. And let me tell you, that group chat, not fun to be in. They were very upset at me when I left the major.
Yeah, fair
So,
enough.
you know, at a major public, like a major university, there's only 60 physics majors total. Total. And that's because you usually get about a year or two into your degree, and people just decide they don't want to do physics anymore
Fair enough.
because it hurts physically, emotionally, mentally. I had one class where we had to um, figure out at what point close, like how close we would have to get to a black hole for our bodies to become spaghettified. Which I don't know if you know what being spaghettified means, but I feel like you can
I
infer
yeah.
just really made into a noodle.
Yeah.
You're made into a noodle 1 atom thick.
See, I always find those like questions really fun because it's like this isn't gonna happen, you know? Like the black
It
hole
could
is
though.
what?
We could just black hole wander into our cosmic neighborhood, and we would all get fucked.
You know, what a way to go though. What a way to go. Like top 10 ways I want to die. A black hole's got to be on there. Like it's given me irrational fears, but imagine getting to the afterlife. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that special because it'd be everyone else too, but imagine getting to like an afterlife and being like, black hole, baby. Like, black hole is right up there with dying because of sushi, so.
Because of sushi?
Oh, yeah, I need to tell you another fun story that's a complete tangent. So, anyways, um, the other night I get a text from my husband that says, Grandma wants sushi for Thanksgiving. Pick your top 3 favorite rolls from this menu. Which was a super fun text to receive, by the way. It was so fun that I've just been telling everyone about it. Like, people I don't even, like, really know that well. So after my English class today, or one of my English classes, because that's all I take now, I lean over to I'm just kind of casually talking to this girl who I've never spoken to before. And she's like, "Well, have a good Thanksgiving." I'm like, "Oh, heck yeah, I will. Grandma wants sushi." She's like, "Where are you going for Thanksgiving?" And I told her, and she's like, "Oh, that's landlocked. I don't get sushi landlocked. I don't trust it." And I'm like, "Honestly, if I die eating sushi, what a way to go. Like, I will die happy." Anyways, that's that story. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Good.
I did enjoy it. Reminds me of all of the tangents that I go on every single day, constantly, at every given moment of every fucking day. And honestly, you know what I blame it on? I blame it on the fact that my Adderall's already worn off.
Fair enough.
Take that shit 7 in the morning, and by the time you hit 10:30 at night, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can't have a single coherent thought.
Yeah.
Ever. Just doesn't happen. So I am actually out of, well, no, I'm not out of emails, but I don't know if I should. This is my last one.
Sounds good.
So it says, oof. Great. Great, great, great. Guess I'm really diving into the talking about your mommy issues thing Jackie has been really trying to get me to do for a year now. Jackie's my therapist, by the way.
We love Jackie.
We love
Jackie. Yeah. I don't even know how to unpack mommy issues.
Neither do I.
I mean,
very clearly.
Yeah, fair enough. The only thing I can think of is just talking about all the cartoon characters I know that have mommy issues. But you know,
here's the thing: mommy issues. Everybody's got them. We all have mothers. Even if you don't have a mother, you do. Just maybe not, you know, gay people exist, right? So, you know, I mean, but those, like, they're adopted. Anyways, what I'm saying is everybody has mommy issues in some way, shape, or form. None of us want to admit it, though. And I think that's okay. Not the not admitting it part, but everybody's got mommy issues.
Yeah.
Even if you don't think you have mommy issues, you have mommy issues.
I don't think I have mommy issues.
Camille, you have mommy issues.
Great. Cool. Anyways.
I'm not going to elaborate on that, but I'm going to let you think that thought.
we're just gonna break the ice and then freeze it back over like that. Anyways.
I'm going to let all of our true listeners, aka Caitlin and your husband.
I'm sure other people, I'll make my D&D people listen to it. If you guys made it to the end of this, I applaud you.
This has been, honestly, I think one of the most incoherent podcasts we've done.
I think we've done exactly one I think we did maybe two coherent podcasts. I think the Why Was It a Western was pretty coherent because we were just talking about why was it a Western? It was Midsummer Night's Dream. And then the Miss Marshall episode. I think those are the only two that have been. Oh no, I see it in your eyes. I've set you off again.
It's been exactly 0 days since we've talked about Marshall.
I mean, that was what, 2016, 2017? It's been 5 years.
That's not been long enough.
Not long enough. We'll never recover. Anyways.
I will never recover.
If you somehow just barely stumbled onto this and you don't know what we're talking about, just go back in this playlist. Find the other podcast episodes.
Listen to them. It's the first episode and the second episode.
And then come back and you'll understand what we mean. 'Cause yeah, it was a whole time. Anyways,
I feel like we should leave it at that.
Yeah. In conclusion, we have no idea what the past hour has been. Do you? I don't.
We'll find some better ideas in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure.
If you have suggestions, if the two of you, or if the 2 to 7 of you have suggestions, great. If you don't, also great, because we'll think of
Fuck
something.
off. Oh, we're going with that energy. Okay.
I mean, if your ideas suck, we're not going to use them. So if your idea never gets used, that means it sucked, and you just have to live with that. Anyways, in
Have fun.
conclusion, we have no idea. We will see you next time.
Yay!
And now the traditional funky exit music that is now different funky exit music because of copyright
Loyalty.
issues.